Hey, what's up, YouTube comic community? It's Comic Books NYC here. It's the day before Christmas Eve, and I've got some time, so I wanted to record this video, which is a tag video response. I'm not entirely sure what this video is going to end up being, but I'm just going to give it a shot here, and we'll see where it goes. There's a tag video going around that was started by Chris at We Love Comics, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, where he was basically asking the community to make a video about something that brings them joy outside of comic books, or or a positive story, or just something to bring positive warmth vibes to the community, if you will. And I watched that video, and it was a pretty touching video, where Chris talked about sort of this special bond or moment or ritual that he shares with one of his cats every day. And I thought that was a pretty touching story, and I commented on his video saying that I might make a video, and that also I've been thinking about getting a pet of my own, which is, I currently don't have a pet, but I have had, I have lived with animals before, and can understand what that special bond is between, pet and their owner. So, fast forward a couple days later, one of the persons that Chris tagged was Regie Simmons, whom has been a supporter of my channel, and of course I have been following his stuff for a long time now. And when he did his video talking about mainly his family and stuff and how they bring joy to his life outside of comics, he tagged me, which was a surprise to me that he was going to do that. So basically this is going to be a response because I was specifically tagged, and also I wanted to support the tag in general from when I was first aware of it through We Love Comics. Sorry it took me so long to get this together, but here, I'm going to give it a shot. So when I think about what it is that I do for a living, and I work, for those that don't know, I work in the music business, and essentially, without getting into all the details, I make a living off my love for music. So music is one of the things that really brings me joy in my life, outside of comic books, of course. But, taking a step back from the fact that I work in music for a living, it's how I pay the bills and create the rest of the life surrounding me. It dates quite back a while in my life, the passion that I have for music and the joy that music brings me, all the way back to childhood, back when I would take piano lessons and guitar lessons, in essentially elementary school, era or time period of my life, and then leading all the way into high school, where I played in bands. I'm a guitar player. I would write music, and I would play with other people, with other kids my own age. Then I would, sort of graduated from playing in a garage, or not technically garage, but something similar, to actually playing clubs, and having at least local level success, playing in bands, and being artistic in that realm, in the music realm, all the way to I went to music school for my education up in Boston, and when I was done graduating, my main focus in college when getting music degrees was music production and engineering and music business and management. So along with learning traditional music theory, music harmony, ear training, a traditional music education as well. I moved to Los Angeles basically right away and tried to work my way into the music business. This is maybe at this point 11, 12 years ago. So or maybe even longer, honestly. Yeah, this was maybe 14 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. So, I started from the bottom, if you will. Not to quote Drake, but I guess it is quoting Drake. I started from the bottom, now I'm here, and I'm now in a position where I, after 10 years rising through the industry in LA, in the music business, was able to move back to, the East Coast in 2015, and, I've been here ever since, continuing to grow my career and in my passion for the industry. And it allows me to, A, make a pretty comfortable living, and then B, also fuel my love for comic books and comic art and going to Comic Cons and all that stuff, which I have talked about before in some of my other videos earlier on in my channel. But that's all of that is just a long-winded way of saying that music has really been sort of a cornerstone of my life, not only bringing me personal joy, but professional and life joy, because without it, I don't know where I would be, essentially. And then not only that, to continue the thread of joy outside of comic books, without it, I probably would be less of a social person in general. It's one of the things that also kind of gets me out and about. I love going to shows. Love going to shows with my friends. I love going to shows with my little brother. As a family bonding thing. Just an example. Maybe a month and a half ago or so, I posted a video on my channel that I had found myself in San Diego with some time to kill, and I visited some LCSs over there, and I made a video sort of detailing my trip to a few comic shops in San Diego. But the whole reason I was in San Diego is because I was meeting my brother out there. We were both flying out there to go see one of our favorite bands together, Deftones. So that was a great bonding trip. We live on opposite coasts. He lives in the Portland, Oregon area, and I live here, of course, in the New York City area. So, it's tough to coordinate schedules sometimes. But when we see an opportunity like that where we can both kind of go hang together and spend some quality time together while also experiencing one of our, favorite music artists together, that brings joy to both of our lives and sort of re-energizes us in a way. So that's really it. Music's one of the things that brings me joy outside of comics. Hopefully I can share some photos and stuff as this video comes together to put some more context to it. But I think you're supposed to tag some people with this concept. I just watched Los do this video yesterday, I believe, and he tagged a lot of sort of the usual suspects in my inner comic book circle. So, if this is a double tag, forgive me, but I'll go ahead and tag Jeffrey Comic-Con Henson, White Whale Comics, and Just a Rican. So, no pressure, guys. You don't have to make this video if you don't want to, but if you want to, go for it and tag a few other people. And because it's been interesting getting to know some of you guys, not only about what your comic book passions are and comic book related passions are, but what you guys do outside of that, and what else is going on in your lives. I'd love to learn more. So there you go. Hope this video made sense, and I hope everyone has an awesome Christmas, holiday season, New Year's Eve, New Year's, and hope everyone feels re-energized to kick off 2019. Okay? All right, guys. Bye.